What's up guys? We just finished the Gibbon Experience here in Laos, and in this video we're going to give you a full overview of the tour, our honest review, and some things you should know before you go. So hope you enjoy it. The Gibbon Experience takes place in Nam Kan National Park, located in western Laos near the border with Thailand. This mountainous region covers 1,360 square kilometers of pristine forest and is home to rare wildlife as well as Laos's biggest tree. The Gibbon Experience is a tourism-based conservation program consisting of canopy setups in the park with incredible treehouses and ziplines. Established in 1996, the project's mission is to protect the forest from illegal logging and other land mismanagement practices. Additionally, many people in the area make a living from participating in the project. By taking part in the Gibbon Experience, you're helping to protect the national park and supporting the livelihood of these communities. In this video, we'll show you the 3-day classic tour experience that we did, providing a detailed overview of each day and the activities that you can expect. At the end, we'll also share our honest review and provide helpful tips for your own trip here. Now let's dive in. We are Zach and Ina. We make helpful videos about destinations around the world so you can easily plan your own adventures. The Gibbon Experience begins at the office in the nearby town of Hoi Sai. We got here by taking a bus from Luang Namta, which is halfway between Luang Prabang and Hoi Sai. But we actually recommend coming into town from Chiang Rai or Chiang Mai in Thailand if it's part of your Southeast Asia travel route, as it's much easier. At 8:30 in the morning, we gathered at the office to sign our waivers, store luggage, and receive a safety briefing. Shortly after, we boarded a minivan with 6 other participants and embarked on a 1.5-hour drive to the edge of the national park. From there, we switched to a 4x4 Jeep since the road conditions became pretty rough. The adventure continued for an hour or so over rivers and potholes until we reached the trek's starting point, a cute and authentic town called Tup. After a quick lunch in town, we began our hike into the jungle. The trekking and ziplining for the day was about 7 kilometers in total, with 391 meters of elevation gain. The trail was wet and muddy in parts, but the surrounding jungle was absolutely stunning, with different shades of green sparkling in the afternoon light. Upon reaching the first hut of the day, we prepared for ziplines. Our guide helped us put on our harnesses and took us through a practice session, all while explaining the procedures and safety measures. Following the practice, we combined ziplines with short walks into the forest. It was an exhilarating experience, and before we knew it, we arrived at our idyllic treehouse.
We made it to the treehouse of the day, and we have a toilet here and a shower. And it has a really nice view of the forest in the national park.
We stayed in treehouse number 4, which we absolutely loved. Keep in mind that although specific treehouse assignments are not selectable, they all offer something unique and are divided among different groups within the forest. After a quick shower and a breathtaking sunset, we enjoyed dinner and prepared for a restful night, surrounded by the sounds of nature. The next morning, our breakfast arrived on the backs of a couple local staff members via zipline. They have to bring the food in this way, since there are no stoves or fires in the treehouses. Then, it was time to start our second day of adventures. On day 2, we explored the park by navigating the interconnected ziplines and short trekking trails for a total of 8.5 kilometers, and gained about 450 meters of elevation. And while we only moved for about 4 hours of the day, we spent 8 hours in the jungle total, including lunch and animal viewing areas. It was a great feeling to be surrounded by such large trees on the hike, and then soar above the jungle canopy during the zipline sections, gazing down at the vast valley below. Our favorite zipline was the one to treehouse number 5, as it stood out so distinctly from everything else around it. We visited other treehouses in the area as well, enjoying the peaceful ambiance of the jungle and patiently waiting for wildlife sightings. Unfortunately, we didn't encounter any gibbons on this day, but the relaxed feeling of being in remote areas of the jungle was enough for us. Once again, we ended our day with a magnificent sunset and delicious homemade meals. We all decided to go to bed early on this night, as we planned to wake up before sunrise the next day in search of the elusive gibbons. On our last day, we left the treehouse before sunrise and embarked on a hike and zipline adventure, first through pitch black darkness and then through mystical morning clouds. Eventually, we got to a small viewing platform just in time for sunrise. After patiently waiting for about 30 minutes, we saw movement in the trees and heard the captivating sounds of gibbons. They were close, but we couldn't quite see them yet. Then, 30 more minutes of patience and they finally made an appearance, bringing a huge smile to all of our faces and a symphony of sounds to the entire jungle surrounding us. After an hour of the incredible gibbon spectacle, we made our way back to the treehouse. Following breakfast and packing up, we bid farewell to our treetop accommodation and commenced our walk and zipline journey back to the village of Tup. In total, we walked and ziplined about 10 kilometers, with 370 meters of elevation gain. The moving time was about 4 hours. Back in Tup, we enjoyed a final lunch before embarking on a long drive back with our 4x4 Jeep. We arrived in Hoi Sai around 3 p.m. to finish off our trip. To be honest, the Gibbon Experience was one of the most unforgettable things we did in Laos, and we spent a full month exploring the country. Throughout the 3-day tour, we were fully immersed in nature, experiencing moments of peace and excitement, and we can't recall staying in a more unique place in the world than our beloved treehouse number 4. The classic tour proved to be very adventurous, even more than we initially thought it would be. Being that it was such an adventurous thing to do, we were pleased with the safety precautions and the good condition of the equipment. However, it's important to note that this experience may not be suitable for those uncomfortable with insects, slippery terrain, heights, or minor discomforts like cold showers. We also learned that the classic tour is the best way to encounter gibbons, although it's not guaranteed. The gibbons may not always be in the area and are purely wild animals, so it's a matter of luck and patience. It's important to manage your expectations when it comes to wildlife viewing. One other thing we noticed is that the trip can feel slow at times. There are periods of quiet and waiting in search of wildlife, which may not suit everyone. The experience also depends on the dynamics of your small group, which can be up to 8 people and 2 guides. Fortunately, we were lucky to have fantastic like-minded individuals with us, and we got along very well. Overall, the classic 3-day tour is the ideal option for seeing and hearing gibbons, and is the easiest trek, suitable for most age groups. However, if you're short on time and simply want to enjoy ziplining and the treehouse experience, then the 2-day express tour may be a better choice. Now, we'll go over a few tips that will help make your Gibbon experience the best that it can be. First, make sure you have hiking shoes with good grip, a reusable water bottle, headlamp, rain jacket, insect repellent, sunscreen, and a few long-sleeve shirts and pants to protect against the bugs. As you'll need to carry your backpack to the treehouse, we recommend packing only the essentials for the 3-day trip. Towels, sheets, and biodegradable soap are provided at the treehouse, so no need to bring those. Second, the best time to visit is during the dry season, from October to May, when the trails are less muddy. During the wet season, the Jeep might not be able to reach the end of the road, so trekking becomes longer and more challenging. Plus, occasional storms can be intimidating when staying in the treehouse. Finally, the classic tour sells out quickly, sometimes months in advance. It's advisable to book as soon as you plan to visit Laos. The 2-day tour accommodates larger groups of up to 12 people and is not as quickly booked up. Therefore, it's a good alternative if the 3-day tour is sold out or closed between August and September. You can find a link to book either tour option in the description below the video. If you're planning your Laos trip, we recommend keeping things organized with our interactive travel planner. Find a discount code in the description below the video. We included important links that you'll need for your Gibbon Experience trip in the description as well. We'll catch you on the next adventure.